Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Catherine and excuse any sounds you can hear in the background. My brother is sick, so my mom is home, so there can be lots of noises. But if I want to upload the second video this week, this is the only time I can film. So in today's video, I want to talk about 22 habits that will improve your language learning skills and experience in 2022. And before we get into the habits, I just want to give you a quick disclaimer that I am not a professional at all of these habits. I am slowly building them and it takes time and it's difficult. It's not easy. It's not like flowers all day every day, but I believe that with these habits, with these skills, you can improve not only how much you can learn, but also your experience in general and how you will feel about your language learning. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Habit number one is to write down your to-do list for the day or the week, specifically your language to-do list. And I'm not saying you have to write like big goals for the week or the month, but just like simple things every day. If you're already writing to-do list for your appointments and different things that you need to do around the house and stuff like that, you can also write down what activities you need to do for a language learning. For example, like Duolingo, memorize, I don't know, like repeat vocabulary, or do 5 pages of textbook, or like 20 minutes of this language, whatever it is. But it's gonna motivate you to actually do these things because you will want to tick them off. Yeah, I believe that this habit will actually motivate you to actually achieve some of your bigger goals that you set for a month, for 3 months, and for a year. Habit number two is to track your language learning activities and your progress. And I started doing this back in September of 2021 and I absolutely love it. I use an app called Language Journal, but I'm pretty sure there are different other apps that you can use depending on what system you have. I have an Android, so I find Language Journal a very good program, but I think there are other ones for iOS as well. So this is actually really great because before I used to do that, I really didn't know what I did and how much time I spent. And looking back and like doing these updates and recaps and like thinking back, I never knew how many hours I've spent and how many things I've done. But now I look each month and I see that, wow, I've spent 5 hours on Spanish, but like 8 hours on Italian, which means that this month I actually tended to do more Italian and what activities I'm doing. And this way you can also see what activities you do a lot and what activities you kind of neglect. So this is actually very useful as well. And with tracking your progress comes habit number three, and that is recap your progress every month or every week if you can. I'm trying to do it monthly, but I think it would be really great to also do it weekly to see, like, for example, oh, this week I was very sleepy and lethargic and I didn't spend as much time, or this week I was actually very productive, and vice versa, you know. Habit number four is to make sure you remember to track and update your goals, because a lot of the time passes and after 2 or 3 months you don't even remember what your goals were, or you set really great goals at the beginning of the year, but then around August you're like, wait, why did I set these goals? They are not relevant to me anymore. So I think it's a really great habit to go back to your goals wherever you wrote them and just see if they are still relevant and if you are achieving them. And if they are not relevant anymore, then just delete them. And habit number five is to actually set realistic goals that you can actually achieve. And I learned this the hard way. For example, I never watch movies, and I knew that. I've always known that. But for some reason last year I set a goal to watch 12 movies in Lithuanian and like watch watch a movie in German, watch 5 movies in Spanish, and all of that. And like, as a person who watches TV series mostly in Russian and mostly Russian TV series, I'm not a huge fan of Hollywood, so I should have known that I don't watch movies and this is an unrealistic goal. So for this year, I set a goal just like watch 1 movie, you know. If I do it, that's okay. If I don't, that's not a big deal. So we need to get into habit of setting realistic goals that will actually work out for our life and for our personality, and not something that is just great for language learning. You know what I mean? Habit number 6 is very, very important. So don't be afraid of making mistakes. I remember at school I was very afraid of making mistakes in English and German, but I shouldn't have been, you know? I was afraid that if I make mistakes, the teacher will lower my grade and all of that. But then at university, when I was studying Lithuanian and I went abroad to Lithuania, I kind of forgot about mistakes and I didn't care. And I would just speak to people on the streets and everywhere, and I just wouldn't be afraid. And they could understand me very well. And yeah, just don't be afraid of mistakes and your life will be a lot easier. 7 is very practical, and that is to wake up earlier. So I really struggle with this, and some weeks it works out really great and I wake up earlier and I do different things, and even if I don't do anything language related in the morning, I know that in the evening I will have time to do language stuff because in the morning I did other stuff. The next habit is to review as much as you can, and it doesn't have to be every single day. You can use spaced repetition method, it's really great, but reviewing materials and vocabulary lists and grammar and just everything that you've learned is very great for your language learning. And if you just write down a list of vocabulary and you close your notebook and never come back to them, I am sure you will just not learn the vocabulary very well. You will not have them in your long-term memory, so reviewing is a key. The next one is to drink water while studying. Water is actually really great for our brain, and specifically water and not coffee or tea, because I know as students, as language learners, we love to have coffee or tea, but water is actually super great when you are learning. The next one is to do at least something every single day. To, you know, maybe do 5 minutes on Drops or 5 minutes on Duolingo, or like learn 3 new words or 1 new phrase, like something small even on the busiest days. The next one is to do small activities throughout the day. For example, in the morning you can do something on your apps, and then when you go to work but you still have some time, you can watch a small video. And then during your lunch break you can go on Instagram and watch stories by people who speak your target languages. And then in the evening you can have a study session, you know, like doing at least something small throughout the day, and it all builds up. And at the end of the day you open your language progress app and you see that you have spent an hour on learning your target language, but it doesn't feel like an hour because it wasn't really a big study session, it was just small things that build up. The next one is to read every single day. I love reading, but I never read in my target languages for some reason, but I am going to try and change that in 2022. So yeah, reading is absolutely great. It can be books, articles, news, whatever, like stories for beginners, like literally whatever, comments. Seriously, Instagram posts. The next one might be really weird, but it is to talk to yourself, especially if you don't have a native speaker or someone who speaks your target language to talk to. Talk to yourself. Another really great one is to record yourself. So I actually loved filming video in Lithuanian. I will leave it down below. And I actually never knew that I am so awkward in Lithuanian, and compared to the actual native Lithuanian speakers that I watch on YouTube. My Lithuanian is so horrible, but yeah, recording yourself is actually really great to see if you are moving forward. Number 15 is to daily journal in your target language. You can journal about your day, you can write like a diary entry or something. The next one is gratitude journal in your target language. Again, as with previous one, you can write 3 to 5 things you are grateful for in your target language. The next one is to listen to music in your target language. If you love listening to music, this might be very easy for you. Just like switch from your native language to your target language, or you can, for example, listen to music in your target language when you work out or when you cook. And yeah, it's just not that difficult. I love listening to worship music in German and Italian. I love to listen to Italian and Spanish music while I work out, so it's not that difficult actually. The next one is related to previous one, but it is to listen to your target language while you are doing things around the house. This doesn't have to be just music, it can be YouTube videos, podcasts, I don't know, radio, whatever it is, but just listen and passively learn and passively consume your target language. Another really great one would be to learn one new word or one new phrase a day. I am not doing this, but I think this is actually really great practice, and I would love to build this habit, but for now I am just not great with it. Number 20 is to recall vocabulary when you are walking around the store, either supermarket or clothes store or whatever, and if you can remember a word, then you just write it on your phone and then you go home and you review or learn that word. This is actually really great. For example, one day you can go around the vegetable and fruit aisle and just name all of them in your target language. Another time you can go through spices, and that way you will actually build up your vocabulary very fast. Number 21 is to Google search in your target language. We all need to Google search from time to time, and we tend to do it either in our native language or English for those of us who are fluent in English, but actually Googling in your target language can be very beneficial for us. I'm not saying that if you have to write a thesis or a research in I don't know, like biodiversity or biology or whatever, or physics, or like, I don't know, nuclear powers, or like anything like super crazy, you need to search it in Spanish if you've just started learning Spanish 1 week ago. But you know, if you've been learning the language for a while, you can start researching in your target language like simple things, you know. And the final one is to celebrate small wins, and this is actually really great. For example, if you set a goal to study for 30 hours this month and you actually achieve that, give yourself a gift or have a self-care day or whatever that brings you joy, and just celebrate that you have achieved something. And or even like smaller things, like at the end of the day you've done something and it's a small step, but it's actually worth celebrating. Alright, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. I hope it wasn't too long for you and you actually stuck to the end. So comment down below which of these habits you are already doing and which of these habits you would like to build in 2022. There are definitely a few that I want to build in my life, and yeah, I will see you very soon. Bye!